Heads up, there is a little fly, or a giant fly, flying around my house because my kids don't know how to close the door. So if I randomly stop talking and start swatting around my face, I promise I'm not losing my mind, what little there is left of it. There's a fly, probably two, flying around my house, bugging me. I also may have kids coming in to bug me because, say Libby, my husband took the girls to the library and the boys are downstairs watching Curious George. But as with most small mammals, if they hear something happening in a place where they are not, they get interested in the thing that is happening in the place where they are not, and they want to go investigate. So we might have some investigations. Okay, we're reading chapter 9 today, which is exciting and pretty short, actually. Like super short. It's like 3 pages. 2 if you're counting physical pieces of paper. Okay. Let's just get into it. Chapter 9, Thursday, December 13th. December 13th, 2008. Remind me to take an aspirin the next time I help Emma. My head is still pounding, and it's not just from the vision itself. Emma wasn't kidding when she said being a psychic is mostly guessing. I can't even wrap my head around it. Also, I'm in major hot water with Mom. She forgot it was her turn to pick up Cam. Cam couldn't even call her because she changed the number, and she didn't tell him the new number. But apparently, this is all my fault. I had my phone off. If I had had my phone on, there wouldn't have been a problem. Therefore, my fault. Nikki's saving grace was the fact that Jody's mom had given Cam a ride. If Margaret had had to go to the school to pick up a sad, lonely, hungry Cam, there would have been serious consequences. As it was, Nikki had received a lecture and been assigned the responsibility of picking up Cam for the rest of the school year. It was a solution that made life easier on everyone. No more remembering whose turn it was. Nikki had wondered vaguely why they hadn't always done it this way, but luckily had had the presence of mind not to ask. Nikki pulled her lunch tray in front of her. It was pizza day. That sounds really good right now. I ate pizza today, and I still want pizza. Emma sat down next to Nikki, but before either girl could say anything, Nellie joined them and said, "Hey," which frankly surprised all 3 of them. "Hi," Nikki said slowly. "It's good to see you," Emma said. "So," Nellie said a bit lamely. Then she was quiet. Nikki glanced at Emma, who sat relaxed, eating her pizza. After what seemed like the longest, most awkward silence in the history of teenagers, Nellie spoke again. "So," the awkwardness did not abate. "How have you been?" Nikki asked. "Good," Nellie said, but even as the words left her mouth, sweat coated her palms. She wiped her hands on her red Bermuda shorts as her brain screamed at her, "Why are you here? What were you thinking?" Something in her gut told her she could trust these girls, despite her many attempts to push that instinct away. Before she could stop herself, Nellie found herself saying, "Can I tell you something?" This one question triggered a series of 3 actions. First, Nikki began bouncing her leg, her nervous energy flooding the table. Second, Emma responded, "Of course." She felt Nikki's nervousness and wished, not for the last time, that her powers included telepathy. You see, Emma understood that Nellie was like a wounded animal. She had to be approached with patience and caution. If either of them spooked her, there was a good chance they'd lose her. But Nikki hadn't spent much time around wounded animals, which brings us back to the fact that telepathy is not in the wheelhouse of psychic mediums. And if only these 2 actions had been taken, everything might have been all right. But then the third and really unfortunate thing happened. Nikki spoke. "If it helps, we know." Emma closed her eyes and braced for impact. Nellie looked like Nikki had just slapped her in the face. "You what?" she spat. I only meant... Nikki looked to Emma for help, but Emma just shook her head. This was a mistake. Nellie put her hands on the table as she stood up. Nikki grabbed Nellie's wrist. Please, Nikki said, you have to help us. Us? Nellie said. Me and Emma, I'm a witch, and there's this bonfire, and it's going to be super dangerous. No! A horrified look flashed across Nellie's face as she wrenched her wrist out of Nikki's grasp. I can't help. I'm never turning into that thing again. Nellie shook her head. I never should have said anything. She strode away from the table as fast as she could. Nikki stood, but Emma pulled her back down. Don't bother, Emma said. She needs to help us willingly, and she's definitely not willing right now. Nikki collapsed onto the bench just as a blonde girl came up to their table and said, Hey, ladies. Sarah, it's you, Emma gasped. It was the girl from her vision. Sarah pursed her lips. Anyway, she said slowly, I'm having a little Christmas celebration on the 20th. She handed them each a bright pink flyer. Don't tell anyone, but it's also the eve of winter solstice. I'm crazy into that stuff. She laughed and then added straight-faced, but seriously, don't tell anyone. I'm actually not sure why I told you. A dazed look passed across her face briefly, then Sarah raised her eyebrows, smiled, and said, Hope you guys can make it, and skipped off. Emma, I don't think it happens on New Year's Eve, Nikki said, looking at the flyer. BYOM, bring your own mallows. Winter break bonfire, December 20th. Graham crackers and chocolate will be provided. Bring a treat to share, RSVP before December 17th. It listed an address and phone number Nikki assumed belonged to Sarah. This is it, Nikki said, pointing at the flyer. This is where it happens. This is when it happens, and now we know what it is, too. Oh, why do I feel weird? She shook her hands as if trying to physically shake off the energy buzzing under her skin. Because you're excited you finally know when this will all go down, but also super freaked because it means we have way less time than we did before? Emma suggested. Nikki nodded. I guess Nellie won't be joining us after all. She might. You never know, Emma said, folding the flyer. December 13, 2008. Why did I think I could trust them? My gut has never led me wrong before, but what if Nikki did a spell on me? Apparently she's a witch. I mean, I can't think of any other reason I would have told them I'm a... whatever. Sure, I didn't exactly tell them, but I was going to, and then Nikki said they already knew. This whole time they knew. Now they want me to help, but there's no way I can... Nellie groaned. The bell rang. She watched everyone else in the cafeteria start their mass migration to their various classes. She was supposed to join them, but instead she headed out to the parking lot, got into her truck, and drove home. When she got home, she curled up in bed and stayed there for the rest of the day, wondering who she could trust if she couldn't even trust her own judgment anymore. I told you it's a short one. This is not even 10 minutes long. I will say, if you happen to live in the Utah area, which I know is giant, and you happen to be in the Murray area, which is significantly less giant, I will be there on Saturday, whatever the last Saturday of this month is. The 26th. This is July. We're in July. Is that correct? That sounds correct. July 26th. Yep. I will be at Barnes & Noble in Murray. Oh, that was loud. On the 26th from probably about noon to 5 is usually when I do signings. I will have book 1 and I will have book 2, which I don't have a copy with me up here because I didn't bring one. And also, if you are not part of the newsletter and you would like to be, I will leave a link for that. It's a weekly newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday. I actually was just writing it a second ago for this upcoming Tuesday. And it just talks about different things going on in life, when author signings are, what's going on in the book world as to what I'm writing and when I'm writing it and when it should be coming out. That way you don't miss anything, and sometimes we do fun stuff. Occasionally I'll do like a giveaway or something in there too. So if you want to sign up, I'll leave a link. Hopefully YouTube will honor it. It said I'm supposed to post and have an active account for 2 months, and then I'll be able to have clickable links in my descriptions. Well, it's been over 2 months, and I have posted every single Friday, and nothing. So maybe I'm not active enough. I don't know. YouTube's a silly place sometimes. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'll see you next week.